Good morning, guys. Welcome to my replay viewers. Thank you guys so much for jumping in, checking out my broadcast. Sorry I missed you live, but so glad you guys took some time to check it out. What is up to my live crew this morning? Great to see y'all this morning, and so glad to have you here. I appreciate y'all coming in and hang out with me on this Tuesday morning. Good morning to you, Mom and Dad. Cappon are both in here. I love it. Victoria, great morning to you. Jamie, what's happening? Kat, good morning to you. Adam and Tracy, I see you. Autumn, good morning to you. Brian, I see you on YouTube. Great morning to you, brother. Thanks for coming in. Alexis, it's nice to see you as well. Sheila, what's happening? Keith, good morning to you. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate y'all. We're going to talk about how to start up a side hustle today. I called this, did I not? I called this a month ago, those of y'all that paid attention. As this whole pandemic thing started coming down, I said, listen, I believe that there's going to be some new businesses that are going to come out of this situation because some people are going to be forced to recognize some skills that they have, and they're going to monetize those things. So we're going to talk about that today. I'm going to talk to you from the framework and from the perspective of my brother and his family. I'm going to share a little bit about their story and what they're doing because I just love it. And but I'm going to talk a little about how to leverage this extra time that you have, how to leverage your own skill and start up your best money-making side hustle. Going to give you a few things to think about and challenge you. Do you have side hustle potential in you and some money-making potential in that brain of yours? All right, that's our topic and conversation for today. Those guys that know me, you know who I am, you know how I roll. I would love to have you hit that share button and invite your crew into the broadcast. Get anybody in here that you think may want to hang out with us and take part in this conversation this morning, all right? And then if anybody's brand new, if you've never seen me before, if you have no idea who I am, first of all, welcome. I would love to say hello to you. If you want to give me a hashtag first time in the chat stream, I would love to say hello, and my crew would love you to feel welcome, all right? And then lastly, I love my replay viewers. I appreciate every one of y'all that's stopping by and checking this out on the replay. If you are on the replay, I would love for you to know that you can still comment and interact with this broadcast. I would love for you to give me a hashtag replay. I do see those comments, and I do respond to those as well, so I would love to know that you were here, all right? Stephanie, good morning. Appreciate you coming in. Danielle, great morning to you guys. We're going to roll because, you know, I do not waste my time, and I choose not to waste yours, so let's jam. All right, y'all, that is who I am. That is what I do. Justin Cappon Pro is my name. JustinCapponPro.com is my website. I'm a startup business mentor and a branding strategist that specializes in helping startup entrepreneurs turn your passion, your gifting, your idea into a profitable and sustainable brand that rises up in this challenging digital marketplace to draw in the 21st century consumers that want and need what you have to offer. Guys, I broadcast live every single weekday morning from Tuesday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, hooking you guys up with business building tips, hacks, and principles. Anything I can give it up, you grow your business, expand your ministry, bring your vision to life, and grow that brand of yours online in this digital marketplace. All right. Good morning to you, Pamela. Thanks for coming in. Al, great morning to you. Pat, Stephanie, thanks for coming in, guys. Appreciate you. Again, guys, today what we're going to talk about is how to leverage your time, how to identify your unique skill and start up your best money-making side hustle. I'm gonna give you guys 7 different things to think about if you want to think about. Really, what I want you to figure out this morning is do you have side hustle potential in you? I think there's a whole bunch of people out there. They got some gifts, they got some skills, they got some abilities, and they don't realize that that thing that you love doing or that thing that you're good at doing is actually monetizable, and you can build a business from it. So we're going to talk about that this morning. My mission today is to enlighten you and get you thinking about what's possible, all right? As always, I'll summarize my points for you at the end of the broadcast, but I do challenge you to take your own notes and capture the information that applies to you. Great morning to you, Sherry. Thanks for coming in, girl. I appreciate you, all right? I'm going to give you my quote of the day today. It's a quick one. It's a short one, and it's one of mine. It's one of my favorites. It's actually one of my favorite Justin Cappon Pro quotes. And my quote for you today is that hustle is an act of focus, not frenzy. Hustle is an act of focus, not frenzy. And the reason why I bring that up today is we're talking about how to create a side hustle. But the reason why I bring this up, hustle is an act of focus, not frenzy, is because I think many of you guys can probably relate to this that have started up a business already and you're running a business. But I remember when I first started my business, a lot of what I was hearing from gurus and you know the people that are on the high level, and you know all the influencers and stuff, you hear a lot about, you know, you got to grind 24/7, you got to work most days like most people won't, so you can live a life like most people don't, and it's all this kind of perspective that you got to wear yourself out, you got to kill yourself, you got to work 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, or you're never gonna make it. And it's like, that's just not true. You don't have to kill yourself to build a business. And that's why I say to create a side hustle is not about working in a frenzy. It's about having a very significant amount of focus and knowing exactly what you're working on and spending your time and your energy and your resources in the right areas to get the maximum impact. All right, so hustle is an act of focus, not frenzy. So what I want to get you today thinking about and narrowing on is focusing on what's really possible for you and really streamlining your thought process to make that thing happen. All right. So let me start out with number one. I've got 7 things I'm going to give you this morning. I want to talk through this a little bit. Good morning, Joanne. Good morning, Kara. Thanks for coming in. I want to just kind of talk you through this a little bit, and I want to give you some ideas to start off with before I talk about before I get into really how to create a side hustle. So first of all, number one is, what are you really good at? What are you really good at? What are you already doing, or what are you passionate about? And I want you just to think about, just try to separate yourself. Maybe just try to separate yourself from yourself for a second. And imagine I'm talking to your best friend. And if I said so and so, what's Martin really good at? What's Jared really good at? Good morning, Jared. What's Jamie really good at? What's Joanne really good at? What's Deanna really good at? What's Alexis really good at? What are you really good at? Like, is there something that you really enjoy? Is there something that you are passionate about? Maybe you love scrapbooking. Maybe you're super creative. Maybe you are a teacher and you love teaching. Maybe you are a handyman. Maybe you're good with everything and all things automotive. Maybe you are maybe you're really good with technology. Maybe you're really good with video. Maybe you're really good at photography. Maybe you love reading. Maybe you're an English teacher. Maybe you love to bake. Maybe you love to cook. Maybe you love to, Lord knows what do you, maybe just crafty in general. I want you to think about for a second, what are you really, really good at? And if you would be so willing, I would love for you to put it in the chat stream, one thing that you think you're really good at, and try to surprise me, will you? Because I know a bunch of you, and I know some of you guys are gonna think, this is what I do, Justin. This is the business that I'm trying to build. But I just wonder if there's something inside of you that you are really, really good at. Jamie, I would love to know what it is. Jamie says, I have a second business idea for Ken, and we're praying about it. I would, if you're willing, and if you don't want to, if you're okay with letting the cat out of the bag, I would love for you to put it in the chat stream. But if there's something that you're just really good at, or you're passionate about, or you're already doing, I would love for you to put that in the chat stream, because I want to expand upon it a little bit. So let me tell you about my brother real quick. So you guys see this intro graphic. Some of you guys may have seen it. This is the intro graphic that I put up for you today. Start up your side hustle. So that image in the background is my brother, my older brother, and his son Noah, 2 of my favorite people in the world. And Noah and Jason they are both carpenters. My brother Jason is a carpenter. I used to work with Jason. He builds custom homes, does fine finish carpentry, and they work for a construction company, and they do carpentry work in fine homes. And so Jason's son Noah works with him and for him, and they work for the same company. Well, due to the coronavirus thing, their company's shut down, so they're not currently working. They're at home. Well, one of the things that Jason has gotten really good at over the past year or so is he's been really, really honing his barbecue skills. And he started out doing ribs, doing brisket, learning how to smoke things. And over the past probably year, I guess, year and a half, him and his family have really gotten passionate about using this. It's called the green egg, this thing that they cook with. And they've gotten really passionate about smoking meats and coming up with their own recipes. They just did some crazy. I didn't partake in it, but they, from what I've seen, they did this crazy smoked ham for Easter. And so throughout this situation where they're stuck at home and they're not doing construction work, Jason and Noah got brainstorming like we should kind of put a label and put a brand to what we're doing and start up something with this thing that we're doing. And so they created a brand name called Main Street Smoke, which I think is just the coolest thing ever. And they started an Instagram profile, excuse me, and they started posting imagery and video of the things that they're cooking. And this is what happens is they posted, Noah, who was I think 20, 21, I can't remember, close to somewhere in that vicinity. He's like, I'm gonna start up an Instagram profile. So he started up an Instagram profile on Main Street Smoke, and he just started posting imagery and video of some of the things that they were cooking at home. And what happened was their neighbors, their friends, their connections through church, all of a sudden they're like, are y'all gonna sell that stuff? And they're like, yeah. And so now they got people requesting orders where they can do street side pickup, or the people requesting to buy meals from them. And as soon as I see this, I'm like, whoa, I get a hold of Jason. I'm like, dude, I don't think you realize what you got going on here. You got a business in front of you, and we got to get this thing ready because people are going to start asking for a menu. People are going to start asking if they can do pre-orders. You got to get ready for this. So we've been talking through this process, and we're going all in to develop a brand, Main Street Smoke, and they're going to start up their own smokehouse, which is crazy, but it's such a doable thing. So what I want to talk about is I'm going to talk you through this morning a little bit, kind of the process that I took them through and talk to them through, just to make sure that you understand kind of really what's possible for you, how you go about it, and some things that you should be thinking about along the way. It is so awesome. And I would love for you guys to follow them too, if you guys would like to follow them. If you look up on Instagram, their handle on Instagram is Main Street Smoke. If you go on Facebook, facebook.com/Main Street Smoke. They're just getting started. Facebook page just started yesterday. Instagram profile went up, I think, 2 or 3 days ago. They're doing their first, so basically what they're doing this Friday is they got a whole bunch of meats and things prepared. They've created their custom menu of their specialties, and this starting this week, Friday and Saturday, they're gonna be smoking and cooking a whole bunch of food, and they're gonna have curbside pickup, so people can place their order, pay for it online, and then they can drive by and you can pick up your food. And they'll be doing curbside pickup. They're selling the things that they're cooking right curbside in their little hometown in Clarksville, Michigan, which I just think is so cool. So Main Street Smoke, yeah. Somebody put in the chat stream, will you please, on Facebook. Facebook.com/Main Street Smoke. That's where you can find their business page. Give them a like. I'd love for you to check them out. And all my Michigan people, get ready, because I was talking to them yesterday. I got on a Zoom with them and the whole family yesterday. I love it. It's a whole family thing. And the girls, everybody. Keith, do they deliver to Florida? Maybe. I don't know if you can keep it hot. I don't know. Do people deliver food? I don't think so. Probably not. But you know what, man? They do so much stuff. I mean, you can smoke fish and pack it in like vacuum sealed things and ship that. So it's very possible. The other thing that's awesome is my other brother, Jared, who lives in North Dakota. He spent 20 years in the military. Now he's retired from the military and he works a government job. And but he loves brewing beer. And he brews his own custom beer. And I told Jason yesterday, Jason's the one that's doing Main Street Smoke, I said, dude, Jared's going to be brewing your beer, man. Y'all need to tie that together, and you're going to have a beer smokehouse. It's going to be crazy. Very excited about it. Thank you, Victoria, for posting that link in there. I appreciate that. So, on the lines of side hustle, number one, I asked you, what are you good at, already doing, or what are you passionate about? Jason and his family were passionate about cooking great food. And all of a sudden they realize, you know what, there's a desire here, there's a need here, there's a want here. And this is what I would ask you with the things that you guys are good at, is what do you have that people might really want? What do you have that's helpful? The other thing that's really cool about what Jason is wanting to do is they're really wanting to create a ministry out of it as well, where they're wanting to provide prepackaged meals and meal delivery basically for needy families that are struggling to make ends meet right now. And I don't know how you go about finding that. Tanya, he hasn't created his brewery yet. Currently he brews beer out of his own garage, but that's something that I think he's passionate about. Maggie says, my side gig brought a full-time income. Never knew it could happen, right? It's so cool. So let me continue on these 7 things, and I just want to challenge you with this a little bit. So number 1 is, what are you good at, already doing, or what are you passionate about? So we talked about, maybe you're an English teacher. Maybe you are super crafty. Maybe you bake amazing cakes. Maybe you are really good at bookkeeping and paperwork. Maybe you're good at budgeting. Maybe you're a photographer. Maybe you're a videographer. Maybe you're just really good at technology. Maybe you have an instrument that you play that you're really, really good at. Again, some of my guys out there, maybe you're a handyman. Maybe you know all things, everything automotive. Maybe you're amazing at cleaning houses, but you've never done it for anybody else. You've only done it for yourself. Maybe you're a fantastic interior designer. If those are things that you're good at. So the question number 2 is, who could benefit from this, and how could this meet a need in the market? So let me just expand upon some of these ideas. So maybe you're an English teacher that's currently not teaching. Well, maybe you could offer proofreading and book editing services, because that is absolutely a need. I got a client right now that's looking for a proofreader, book editor, and needs someone who knows how to go through a book, identify grammatical errors, and can proofread books. That is a pretty lucrative business, actually, and it's a high need with there's not a lot of people that do that make that service available. So maybe you're an English teacher that could offer book editing and proofreading services. Maybe you love baking cakes, or maybe you make custom creations. Maybe you make cupcakes. Maybe you're a cake decorator. Maybe you used to work for a bakery. The bakery's closed right now and you can't work. You know what? People are still having birthdays. People are still having anniversaries. People are still having things that they want to celebrate. And you know what? This is one of the things that I have kind of seen and discovered throughout this season that we're in, is I think people want to help people. Y'all agree with that? I think the American people are desperate to unify. I think people just want to help people. I mean, if you knew your friend or your neighbor or someone that you love from your church was an amazing cake decorator and decided to start up their own cake decorating, cupcake making service, wouldn't you rather place an order with them than go buy a cake from the only big box store that's currently open? I would. I mean, I'm looking for so many opportunities right now to support my own community, because I got a ton of business owners and entrepreneurs in my own community. I'm looking for opportunities to support people that I know could really, really use the money right now. So if you have that skill, you have that ability, all you got to do is make that thing known. The thing is, y'all, the number one reason why most people will not pay you for your skill is because they don't know who you are and they don't know your skill is available. All you got to do is make it available. Make it something that people see as possible, and they're like, yeah, I didn't realize you do that. That's so awesome. I would love to place an order with you. So maybe that's you. Maybe you're just an amazing cook in general. Well, could you create a recipe book? Maybe you should start teaching. You know, I had a client, this is how many years ago? This has been 3 years ago. I had a client of mine that lived in Georgia. She still lives in Georgia, I believe. Just an amazing cook. She reminded me of Paula Deen, man. You guys know Paula Deen? Just amazing, amazing cook. And she had such a passion for cooking that every night when she would make her family dinner, whatever, I mean, every night it was like going to a specialty restaurant. Every night she'd make dinner, just amazing dinner. What she would do is she'd cook up all these custom recipes, and then she would video them. So when she was done, she would take like these amazing videos of her pan and the finished product. And she had this beautiful, she'd have pictures with usually a little pile of the ingredients that she used. And then she would post video what she was making. And she would post these videos on her Facebook page, and she'd get thousands of views. And people would be like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Y'all remember this? It doesn't seem like it's quite so much anymore. But you remember like the last 2 years, it seemed like when you would swipe through Facebook, all you would see would be these video tutorials of how to make certain things, right? You guys remember that? You'd see like food stuff all the time. And it seems like I don't see food stuff as much as I used to. Y'all with me? I think me and my mom, man, we used to share food stuff all the time. There's always be recipes being shown, like all these amazing video creations. You'd be like, that looks so good. And it usually said like, now this or something. And it would show like a top down view of the thing and all the ingredients. And then you'd watch it, right? And so she used to, my client of mine used to make these videos. And then she started up a Facebook group. And she started up a Facebook group where she was sharing. I don't know what happened to those, Brian. I used to see them all the time. Now I don't see them as much anymore. But she started up this Facebook group where she started sharing whenever she would do one of these videos. She would post the video publicly. Listen to me, because this is an idea for somebody. She'd post the video publicly of what she was making. Then she would post the video in her group, and in the group she would share the recipe and how she made it. But you had to be a part of her group to get the actual recipe. So if people would see her public video, they'd be like, can I get this recipe? Yeah, you can go ahead and join my group. And I post the recipes in there. So she's posting the recipes in there, and she grew this group. So this group grew from 0 to over 2,000 group members over the course of 6 months. And that's about the time that she reached out to me. She's like, Justin, I've kind of created this group, and I kind of have all these things going on. And I've got a whole bunch of people that are wanting a recipe book from me. Because even though they're getting all the recipes here, they want a recipe book. Is it possible you could help me create a recipe book? I'm like, absolutely. So we created a recipe book for her, tied all those recipes together, and got a physical recipe book printed where she now sells. I couldn't even tell you how many she sold now. But she started that just by her passion for cooking. So that's an idea. I'm going to give you some other ideas. So another idea that I was thinking about is maybe you're really good with video. Maybe you're really good with video. Maybe you're really good with social media. I was talking to my family about this the other day. I'm like, you know what's kind of stinks? Is I remember, in my growing up years, we've got home movies. We've got home movies from our family because everybody had a video camera. And you can put a videotape in if you still got a VCR. Some of you guys, you burn them to CDs, and you can go and you can watch home movies. And now in the day and age of cell phone video, I don't have like home movies anymore. What I have is a whole bunch of 1 to 2 to 3 minute video clips that are anywhere between my phone, between Facebook, some of them are saved on my laptop, but they're all so dispersed. I couldn't just be like, let's watch some home movies. I couldn't just sit and like watch some home movies. I wonder if somebody's out there that's really good with video editing that could offer a service where you take people's video clips from their mobile phones, from their Facebook profiles, or from their computer hard drives, and you bundle those together and create 2019 memories, 2018 memories, vacation videos, and you loop all those video reels together and burn it onto a hard drive or burn it onto a disc where people could actually watch a series of their own home movies. Would you pay for that? I would. Like, man, if I could give you access to my camera roll somehow, I mean, you'd have to figure out how you would do that. Get on my Facebook page, get access to all my videos, or maybe I gather all these videos and send them to you, and you turn it into memory things. That would be so cool. Same with photography. Somebody just mentioned on Periscope. Same with photography. Could you create a digital photo album for me out of all of my camera roll or all of my Facebook videos? That's a thing. The other thing I was thinking about too is, if you're good at, if you teach an instrument, maybe you're an instrument, you could offer lessons right now, private lessons for someone that's wanting to learn how to play the flute or the trumpet or the bass guitar or something. You could teach drum lessons. If you're a musician, you could teach another language. Maybe you know Italian or French or whatever. You could teach another language right now. You could also offer tutoring to kids, which is a dramatic need right now because there's a whole bunch of parents that are freaking out right now that the fact that they got kids at home and they have no idea how to teach them their lessons. And I'll tell you this, I mean, some of the stuff that my kids are learning in school, like talking to my kids about some of their homework, it's like, man, I don't know how to do that because some of it's just thick, right? But maybe some of y'all could offer tutoring to children, and you could charge by the hour for that if that's something that you love to do. Another thing that I was thinking about too for some of you guys out there is people love video tutorials, and that's something people will pay for. And people have a whole bunch of time at home right now. So imagine this. Imagine let's say let's say, since majority all are women on here right now, let's say that your husband is a handyman, okay? And let's say since he's stuck at home and he's got a whole bunch of extra time right now, he's just decided, you know what? I think I'm gonna install that ceramic tile backsplash in the kitchen that we've been talking about doing for a while since I got this time. Well, if he knows how to do that and he's gonna install that ceramic tile backsplash, why don't you video the process, every step of the process? What kind of tile do you get? What kind of glue do you get? Is there any kind of prep that you need to do to the wall that's there? What happens if I already have a tile backsplash there? Do I need to remove that? How do I go about the process? What tools do I need? What steps do I take? How long is this going to take? What's the exact steps that I go to install this? And record every single segment of installing that ceramic tile backsplash. Then actually record the backsplash being installed. How do you go about the process? How do you space it? How do you grout it? How do you seal it? How do you clean up? How long this can take? What's an average budget? What's a great tile to get? Where do you buy tiles? Is there a great place to get a deal on tile? Lay that whole thing out. Record every aspect of the thing. And then bundle that. Listen to me. Bundle that, and you can sell that as a how to install your own tile backsplash video tutorial. And then that's what you do. You bundle all the videos. Maybe you sell that thing for $147. And people will buy that. If somebody wants to do their own backsplash from home, this is going to walk you through step by step everything that you need to do. Anybody can do this. This is going to walk you through what you need to do to install your own ceramic tile backsplash for under $1,000 or something, right? So you got a tutorial. Then you create one video that's a high level getting started. So maybe and that one's free. So once you bundle the actual process on how do you sell your process, then you create one video. And you do a quick training. Maybe you're in your kitchen and you're showing your finished backsplash, and you do a quick training on 5 steps for a beginner to get started in installing your own ceramic tile backsplash. And you give them 5 free but valuable tips on how to get started. And that shows them what they need, what they could do to basically show them that they could actually install a tile backsplash. And like, wow, I could actually do this. Cool. And then at the end of that free video, if you want to get the whole training, guys, I have my full video tutorial on everything you need to know to walk you step by step through the process. I sell that for $147, and you can sell that right now. You post your free tutorial on YouTube and Facebook. You get people to watch that, and you lead them to basically a video course, like a mini course. And you could do that with anything in the house. How to remodel a bathroom, how to update your kitchen with new paint, new crown, new whatever. You could do how to install a wood flooring, how to install a waterfall in your backyard, how to build a deck. Flip that to you auto people, any guys that are really good with automotive. How to buy a junk car for less than $1,000, refurbish it from home, and sell it for 3 times what you bought it for. How to flip a car. How to flip furniture. Maybe you're good at refinishing furniture, and you know how to spot a deal for furniture. You can go out and buy some furniture that's aged and worn. How to refinish that thing by spending less than $50 and resell it for twice what you bought it for. Just ideas. I'm trying to give you guys ideas on things that you can do. All right. So number 2 is, how could you benefit from this, and how could this meet a need? The third question I want to ask you is a third point today. Crease, good morning, girl. I see you, and thanks for coming in. Number 3 is, take some time to simply imagine. Can you just separate yourself from all the question marks, all the doubts, all the insecurities for a second, and just take some time to simply imagine what's possible? Yeah, I was on Zoom with my brother and his family yesterday about Main Street Smoke, and I just started talking about what's really possible. And it's fun to go there, but like, don't be like, well, I can't because all of this. I mean, I got my job that I'm going to go back to in a month, or I've got this question, or I don't know if I could. Just separate yourself from all of that for a second, and just imagine that you went all in on that idea, whatever that idea is, and you gave that idea a full-time effort. Because I tell people all the time, you can't generate a full-time income on a part-time effort. If you want a full-time income, it needs a full-time effort. Imagine that you gave that idea of yours a full-time effort. What could you do? And so I was talking to my brother about, all right, so your current season right now is You're cooking some amazing meat. You got some amazing recipes. You're perfecting your craft, and you got some people that are wanting some curbside pickup. That's your now. What's your next? Where's this gonna go? Where's this gonna go? Because it's not gonna be real long before people are wanting way more than just a quick curbside pickup on a Friday or Saturday. People are gonna start doing pre-orders. I said you need to be thinking about Memorial Day. You need to be thinking about Father's Day, Mother's Day. You can start creating some custom recipes specifically for some events. I said, I tell you what, if we can get past this coronavirus and these lockdowns get opened up and people can start having gatherings again, Memorial Day is going to be the hugest event of the year because people are going to be so excited to get outside and actually enjoy being with their people. I'm like, y'all need to be preparing for that. How much meat do you need to order? What kind of stuff can be selling? Could you be selling brisket packages? They do these things called burger bombs, which are crazy. You can sell a burger bomb bundle. You can be doing pre-orders of these things. What kind of cooking equipment are you going to need? Because your little green egg is going to get overwhelmed real quick when you start getting a whole bunch of orders. You need a pit, man. So I started thinking about what's possible. What could you really be doing? Are there some barbecue events that you could start looking at later in the year? You may be able to go to a barbecue event and start putting your team, start Main Street Smoke in the mix there. Is there an opportunity for merchandise? Should you be creating t-shirts and hats? Can you do catering? Catering is a whole nother element. Could you be booked for a wedding? Could you be booked for a graduation? Could you be booked for a 50th birthday party? Could you be booked for a church event? Maybe instead of doing a men's breakfast, you do a men's cookout and the church hires you to come and cook a bunch of barbecue. So that's why I'm saying imagine. Can you just imagine for a second what's really, really possible? And as we're talking about this, Jason's like, there's a building in town that's vacant. It used to be a hair salon and it's vacant. I think the square footage of the place right in town would be a great spot for us to possibly grab a hold of that, and we could start setting up Main Street Smoke in an actual physical location. Crazy, but can you just brainstorm that for a little bit and just imagine what's really possible? And if you gave that thing a full-time effort, what could you really do with that? And this is the question I want to ask you on this one. So we're on number 3. Is take some time to simply imagine. But then ask yourself, do you want that? Do you want that? I saw, as I was talking to my brother and his family yesterday, it was really fun just seeing how excited they were to do this together, especially my brother and his son Noah. It's just Noah's just really excited about this, and you can see it. It's all over them. But their 2 daughters are they're in the mix, and Heather, Jason's wife, this is their baby. They're doing this together. It's a family thing. How cool is that? So yeah, Jason's a carpenter, and he spent his whole life building houses and doing carpentry. But how cool would it be to start up something that you give it your all, and you turn this into a full-blown business where all of a sudden you don't have to go work for someone else anymore. All of a sudden you've got a family business that you guys get to work together every single day doing what you love and serving people great food, doing something that you're passionate about. Isn't that so cool? Is that even a question of what you would rather do? Yeah, there's question marks in the process, and there's uncertainties. It's a little scary going all in on something like that and trying to figure out, how do I juggle the two? How do I build this while I'm still here? And at what point in time do I step away from that and give this everything I've got? All those things need to be figured out. But if you just imagine for a second, just ask yourself and really imagine for yourself, what do I really want? Do I really want to create my own side hustle right now? That's one of the things that I've kind of learned from myself, y'all, and I've seen this in so many different circumstances, that God has a unique way of pushing you out of your nest if you're unwilling to jump on your own. Y'all agree with that? I think some of y'all have been prompted and you've had an idea baking for a while, and the Lord's been confirming it and showing it to you and reaffirming it and re-showing it to you. And all of your circumstantial excuses keep putting things in the way. I'm not ready yet. I don't think it's time yet. And God's like, all right, well, let me just put you in this situation where you don't have any other option but to do this because everything else has been set aside and pushed out of your way. I just wonder if this is something that you really want. Number 3, I'm gonna get you going, guys, because I've already been on here for 35 minutes. I'm sorry, number 4. Number 3 was take some time to simply imagine, do you really want that vision? Do you really want that to happen? Number 4 is, where do you start? What has to be done first? Where do you start? What has to be done first? So, as we talked about with my brother and his family, one of the first things Noah, their son, is getting all after is all the social stuff, social media. We got to create some awareness around this. We got to see if this is anything that people really want. It's a good thing to, whenever you're building a business, whenever you're creating something for sale, you always start with a buyer in mind, right? You don't start with a product and hope you have a buyer. You find a buyer, recognize a need, and you create a business and a product to meet a need that you know exists. So you always start with a buyer. So Noah starting out on Instagram, just posting some stuff and just seeing how people will respond to it is a great way to test the audience to see what's really out there. But they got an immediate response. Yeah, are you guys selling this? Can we do pickup? Do you guys take orders online? Can we see a menu? So there's a need there. There's a want there. So awesome. Let's get on that. Let's create that social. So creating that social connection is important. The other thing I would tell you too is on the framework of where do I start? Your best and first customers are going to be people that you know. I think it that covers just about any business. You want to tap into an audience of people that you already have a reputation with. I did. When I first started my business from scratch, from zero, my first clients were people from my church. My first several clients were people from my church. People that knew me, knew what I was doing, heard what I was starting up, and like, hey, Justin, I'd like to have some business cards created. Hey, I'm thinking I'd like to have a logo made. Hey, I'm thinking I'd like to get your help publishing a book. I mean, I think my first 10 or 15 clients were all people from my church. But then as soon as you complete work with them, then they give you a testimonial. Then they share your information with their audience. And now I'm tapping into people that I don't know. And then I started reaching a little bit deeper. I didn't start online. I didn't really start expanding online until about 8 months in my business. My first 6 to 8 months in business was all business generated locally. And then I figured out live network, live broadcasting. Live broadcasting took me in an entirely new opportunity of tapping into regions. But I started with people that I knew. Those will be your first customers, people that know you, people that you have a reputation with, people that you've connected with through social activities or through church or through school or whatever. That's the audience that you start with. So when you're trying to figure out, man, how do I get this online? How would I really sell? You don't have to overwhelm yourself with trying to figure out how you're going to reach an audience of people online when the market may be saturated. You figure out, who do I know? Who do I know right now that needs this? When my brother and Noah and his family started up Main Street Smoke and just started posting about it, the first people that are reaching out asking for their first orders are people that live in their hometown, people that go to their church, people with friends and connections in this area. They're like, I'll come over. I'll drive 20 minutes to come pick some up. I'll drive 30 minutes to come pick some up. Absolutely, I'd love to get some of your food. And so it's a good thing to say, where do I start, and who are my first customers going to be? And then on the second question on this, number 4, is what has to be done first? What has to be done first? So Jason and I were talking about, you gotta identify what kind of licensing you need to get to be selling food. I'm sure there's volume restrictions. I've never started a restaurant, so I don't know that. But he's doing all his due diligence and research to make sure that they're doing right by government restrictions and food service protocol and all that kind of stuff to make sure that they have all the right licensing to do what they're wanting to do. Because there's something to, there's something to be said for selling some food curbside to your neighbors. But when you start turning this into an actual business and you start serving a lot of people, you got to have the right licensings for that. So depending on whatever your service is, depending on what you're going to do, you need to make sure that you have to get done the right things first to make sure that you're legally operating a business. Okay. Number 5 is, now I want you to think about, once you get past kind of the where do you start, what has to be done first. Number 5, what I want you to think about is, now really think like you're a business and this is your livelihood. Take that idea that you have and imagine this is your business and this is your livelihood. What do you need to do? How do you need to operate on a daily basis? How do you need to start leveraging your time? I'll tell you this. I think, man, there are so many people right now that are wasting their days, wasting their time, complaining, watching the news, taking really long naps, binge watching Netflix. What could you really be doing with that time? Man, what could you be doing with that time? What could you be creating with that time? So you take this idea and then you think, man, what if this really was a full-time business and this was my livelihood? How would your daily schedule change? How would your weekly schedule change? What do you need to do? I'll tell you this. My brother's family with Main Street Smoke, they got some work to do. Because it isn't just a matter, I mean, if they want to cook a bunch of food on Friday and Saturday and sell a bunch of curbside pickups, that's not just something, let's just throw it together on Friday afternoon and see what happens. They got to get the meat. They got to get, I'm asking them questions like, do you have the food service containers, the portable containers? Yep, he's ordered 300 containers. They got silverware to pass out. They got bags. They know their process. He's like, the girls are going to be doing the handout at the street. Me and Noah's, Jason's going to be doing the cooking. Heather's going to be doing the prep on the inside for side dishes and all that kind of stuff. Noah's going to be doing videography and photography. He's going to be doing all the posts on social media, doing all the things to attract people and connecting people. And one of the girls is going to be handling the payment processing. So they have a plan. They're figuring out, how are we going to really do this? And you have to think that way. And you have to think about, all right, this is how I look at it. I look at it as, all right, how do I handle the immediate need? How do I start this idea, get the ball rolling? But then how do I scale? How are we going to scale this in a way? How can we maximize our time? What processes can we put in place? How can we leverage certain things? How can we start that, get that ball rolling, then come over here and get this ball rolling? How can we give ourselves some time back? Can we order meat in bulk and save some money? Do we need more freezer capacity? Is there a local meat dealer that can give us a better price on meat? Where are we buying our supplies from? Can we buy supplies in bulk and save money there? How are we handling our payment processing? What is the fee? How can we do that more seamlessly? Do we need to do it electronically instead of taking cash or card right at the street? Can we have people pay online so they can place an order online? We get it electronically and we just deliver it. And all we do, we're not handling money distribution. We just get an order and we go. Can you figure those things out? Because honestly, y'all, listen, I do this for a living. That's what I do. Those things are not that hard. But most people just don't know what to do, which leads me to question number 6. Number 6 is, what can you do and what can't you do? And this is where you need to figure out where you need help. All right? So there's certain things that you're good at. Certain things that, I know, me too, Keith. I tell you what, man, go look at their Facebook page. Keith said this broadcast has made me hungry for barbecue. Go look at their Instagram profile. Instagram, check them out at Main Street Smoke and look at some of the stuff they're cooking. It'll make you want to become a barbecue junkie, for real. Listen. But number 6 is, what can you do and what can't you do? Because I don't care who you are, how talented you are. Every one of us have gifts, talents, and abilities, and every one of us have things that we're just not good at. And there's some stuff that you need help with. All right? Jason reached out to me. He's like, listen, I know how to do this. I figured out a plan for our meal. We've got our menu created. We've got all this. He's like, I need a website. I have no idea how to build one. He's like, so I just went and created an account. I need you to help me with it. I need a logo. You got it. I'm going to hook you up. I got you. Right? So there's certain things people will be like, you know what? I know how to do all this, but I don't know how to set up an electronic payment system. All right? Get some help with that. Whatever it is that you know to do, this is something that's so important as a business owner. And I know those guys that are business owners, many of y'all are my clients. You know this. It's so important to really get clear on what you're good at and what you're not good at. And then you need to get someone else working on what you're not good at so that you can focus on your best. Somebody want to give me an amen to that in this broadcast? Give me an amen in the chat stream if you agree with that. When you are a business owner, you have to be able to focus on your best, because your best is what makes your business flow. Your best is what brings you clients. And if you don't find a way to outsource the things that are a challenge for you, or the things that you just don't know, you're going to waste so much time and so much energy trying to do things that you're just not qualified to do. And while you're wasting all your time there, you're losing money over here. Outsource what you're not good at. Find someone who can help you with the thing that you don't know how to do, so that you can focus on being the very best at what you are the best at. And that is your gift. That is your ability. Focus on that. So question number 6 is, what can you do and what can't you do? And whatever falls in the can't category, you got to find someone to help you with that, whatever that is, okay? Last one I'm going to give you, number 7, is once you get kind of all those questions answered, number 7, if I was doing it, if I was starting up a brand new side hustle today, what I would do is I would plan for 7, 14, 30, 16, 90. 7, 14, 30, 16, 90. Meaning, what do I need to do in the next 7 days? What do I want to have accomplished in the next 14 days? What do I need to have accomplished in the next 30 days, the next 60 days, and the next 90 days? Those are great milestones to figure out. And this is what I was talking through with my brother and his family yesterday. What's your plan this week? What do you need to get done this week? Just focusing on, how do we get to Sunday? What do we need? We need to get enough meat for Friday and Saturday. We need to get our menu created now. I told him this yesterday. You got to get a menu out now, because people are asking for a menu, and you've got to have a menu today if you want to sell out on Friday and Saturday. Get a menu out. They got their menu created. They just got a chalkboard. They drew it all up on a chalkboard, took a picture of it. They got the chalkboard at home where they can show people that happen to stop by the front and want to see it on curbside, and then they post it on their Facebook pages so people can place pre-orders. Got a menu out. We make sure we got enough meat. We got to make sure we got enough utensils. We got enough packages. We know our process, how we're going to collect money. This is exactly what we're going to cook this week. This is the specific meals that are available on Friday and Saturday. We know what's available. We know what we need to do to get through this week. So planning for the next 7 days. Then, it's like, all right, let's plan. We need to plan for next week as well. We need to not just think singularity just on this own weekend. We need to plan for what's next weekend, because guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a whole bunch of people that are going to show up curbside this weekend to pick up their meal. And the first question they're going to ask is, what are y'all cooking next weekend? Next weekend, we're going to be doing brisket and smoked brats on a jalapeno bun with a whatever and burger bombs. Place your order now. Go on. First come, first serve. First 20 orders or what gets it. That's planning 14 days out. All right, we need to plan for that. We need to make sure we can get, because honestly, if they do it right, they could sell out next weekend's sales before they even get through this weekend, because people will pre-order that stuff. Absolutely they will. All right, what do we need to do in the next 7 days, next 14 days? What do we need to have accomplished by the end of April? What kind of licensing do we have in place? What kind of systems do we need to have in place? When do we want to have a website up? What do we want to do with a logo? How quickly can we get t-shirts and hats made so when people come to pick up their order, they can say, hey, you want to support our local business with a Main Street Smoke t-shirt with the logo on it? Absolutely. Who do we want to reach out to? What kind of expanded services when do we want to introduce catering and make that available? When do we want to introduce some new recipes? So 30 days. What do we want to have planned out for the end of the month of April? Then where do we want to be by the end of the month of May? End of May is Memorial Weekend. Where do we want to be by Memorial Weekend? What kind of volume and sales do we want to have? How many orders do we want to take? What kind of systems do we want to have in place, right? 7 days, 14 days, 30, 60, and 90. Take some time to think about where you really want to be. Listen, y'all. I'm going to leave you with this, y'all, okay? Because I just gave you a lot of ideas. I don't think you're ever going to find a time. I mean, I can't imagine another situation like the one we're in right now where starting up your own side hustle is more possible than it'll ever be. Because you have so much time right now. You have so much time. There's like they're just this is the time to really think about what are you really good at? What are you really good at? What are you really passionate about? And what can you do with that knowledge and that gifting that the Lord has given you? All right. Is this helpful for you today, y'all? Give me a yes in the chat stream if I gave you some ideas. Give me a if you know how to put that light bulb emoji. Put that light bulb emoji. Give me on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm curious. on a scale of 1 to 10, how, let's say, inspired are you that you have the potential to create a side hustle? 10 would be like, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm all in. 5 or 6 would be like, I think I have an idea. I just got to kind of figure it out. 1 would be like, I don't know what I could sell. Give me on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm just curious. I want to know how many people are gonna take this information today and actually work on something. I'm curious. I've been actually, I got a full-blown busy business right now, but even just writing up this content and thinking about what Jason and Heather are doing, I'm like, man, should I start up another business in this? I love it, Jamie. Jamie's a 10. Sylvia's a 6. I love it. Autumn's already on it. Autumn's an 8. I love it. I'm like, I started thinking about, man, what can I do? Because I got a lot of gifts. I have a lot of things that I know how to do. And I'm like, man, should we start up another business? It's a matter of time. I don't know. Do I want another business right now? I don't know. We already have 3 actually. It's just, I don't know. It's just I don't think it's a fun creative process. All right. Cat's a 10. Absolutely fantastic. I love it, Cat. I love it. So listen, y'all, on the framework of number 6, what can you do and what can't you do? If there's some stuff that you're stuck on and you're like, man, I don't know how I would do that. I know what I need help with. If there's something that I can help you with, reach out to me, y'all. You can shoot me a message through Facebook. You can comment in this chat stream even if you're watching me live on all the platforms that I'm on right now. If you're like, man, Justin, I need a phone call. I need a strategy call. I'm teeing up free strategy calls for anybody that needs some help. And listen, the free strategy calls, there's a little bit of criteria with this. Free strategy calls are not for current clients because you guys already have calls with me. And this is not for someone who has already had a free strategy call with me in the past. If you have never had a strategy call with me in the past, I'm teeing up free strategy calls for anybody who has an idea that they want to kind of see what they could do with it. And you want to talk strategy with me and figure out what you could really do with it. That's usually an hour-long phone call, and I got a whole bunch of people in this room that'll tell you an hour with me on the phone can change your life. Because I'm very much an idea man, and I'm a step-by-step. I'll tell you exactly, if I was in your chair with that idea, this is exactly what I would do and how I would do it, and I'll get you moving so you know exactly what you need to do. If you want to take advantage of having a phone call with me, you can just simply put I'm in the chat stream, and I'll reach out to you directly. Or you can message me through Facebook. You can email me, justincapponpro@gmail.com. You can contact me through my website. The ball's in your court. You guys reach out to me if you want to do so, all right? Absolutely, Jamie. And we're going to get a hold of you, Jamie, this week because Jamie I'm building an app for. And I want to talk about what your idea with Ken as well. So we're going to talk this week, Jamie. I'll reach out to you today, all right? Guys, I appreciate y'all. I know... how long have we been out here? 53 minutes? I would love to talk to Ken. Jamie, it'd be so fun. I'd love to talk to you both. But I know 53 minutes of your time is so valuable, so I appreciate you spending your time with me this morning. Hopefully this was fun for you, good for you, got your ideas going. If you want to share this out to anybody, get it out to your people. If you got anybody that you think might need or want to watch this, go ahead and tag their name in the chat stream on Facebook, and we can get them in here to see it. I'd love to get some people recognizing their gifting and doing something with it, all right? Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are amazing. I know the time is so valuable, so I'm going to let you go. Have a beautiful day, guys. Have an intentional day. Get about your goals. Be a good steward of that gifting and those ideas that God has given you, and I will see you all around the web, all right? Take care. God bless, and I'll see you guys later.